Hello there everyone, welcome back to another SBID or Sawyer Breaks It Down number 13. And this is the little series I like to do where I talk about stuff that I find interesting that happens in the movie industry or gaming industry or something like that in general. And the big topic today is Joker becomes today the first R-rated film in history to make $1 billion worldwide. And that is truly astounding. And what makes it more impressive is that it wasn't released in China, which is the second biggest market, where a lot of studio movies and stuff make a good amount of their money to get to that milestone. And it didn't release there because it was rated R and because of some of the themes and stuff that the movie explores and all. And I just gotta say, like, wow. Like, it's really well done, and the movie was great, and it had all this Oscar buzz, but then it had so much controversy leading up to it that kept the conversation going. And a lot of people were thinking it might do really well since people still talk about it and make more people eager to see it. And then when people went out to see it after a huge opening weekend of about 96 million or so, it just kept hanging on. It had great holds week after week. It stayed in the top 5 for a while. It's still in the top 10 currently, and it's just chugging along, making that cash. And it finally did it a little over a month after releasing the first week of October. It passed 1 billion. And what makes that so significant is that this isn't really connected to the whole DC EU and stuff. This is like, it was, I was assuming it was its own standalone story, just a character study on Joker. And obviously they're gonna probably make more, like, no brainer. It made $1 billion. This is easily the biggest movie in anyone's career money wise. Even Robert De Niro, I don't think he's ever made a film that's hit $1 billion. He's in more of those gangster style Martin Scorsese type movies. None of those ever make that much money, even though they're really good. And Todd Phillips is easily the biggest movie of his career, passing the other one that was The Hangover Part 2. That was his highest film that made over 700 million. This made so much more. This is definitely the biggest film of Joaquin Phoenix's career. And like some of the other stuff involved, like it just was this perfect storm. Because I've seen some articles saying how this movie probably would not have made $1 billion if not for 3 movies moving. And I actually think that's probably true. I saw it from Forbes that said Wonder Woman 1984, Sonic the Hedgehog, and the new James Bond movie, since they all moved out in November, made it more likely, since there wasn't that much big competition for this film to eventually make $1 billion. And I have to say, I completely agree. If it wasn't for like this perfect storm of not that many widely anticipated releases until like Frozen 2 at the end of November that are guaranteed money draws, because Terminator really bombed. Zombieland 2 and Maleficent both opened like that week, a couple weeks after. They both did okay for themselves, but not like juggernaut movies. And Adam's Family made a bit of money, but like nothing like really to compete with Joker. And it just was able to keep going because people wanted to keep watching it. I'm really curious how it's going to do award season, because it would like debuted at a bunch of film festivals. Everyone loved it and all. Then with all the controversy and like hate online, and like some people say it's overrated and like too violent and stuff like that. Like I could see some of those criticisms. Like it is really violent at times, and it does tackle really deep themes and all. But like you can't deny that this movie has some staying power money wise. It's made so much money, and I'm just astounded. I never thought I would make $1 billion. Like I don't think anyone there thought I would make $1 billion. And it just goes to show that people really wanted to see this movie. And I mean, it's really great. It's one of my favorite films, if not my favorite film of the year so far. So I mean, I hope it gets some recognition at the awards. Definitely for Best Actor for sure, and Best Score. Those are the 2 ones it needs to at least be nominated for. I hope Best Picture, but Endgame's also pushing for that. Like hardcore, they want Best Picture. Like Marvel wants that gold, the Oscar gold that is. And I mean, I don't know if they'll nominate 2 comic book films, so one or the other will get the Best Picture nod, even though 10 slots, but they're so biased against superhero movies, it's ridiculous. But hey, there's progress being made here. So even if they both get nominated and none of them wins, I would rather have that than one get nominated and win, because 2 of them being nominated in the same year would be so much more powerful to show that the Academy's really accepting and growing with the movies. And yeah, I just wanted to get my quick thoughts on this. I just thought it was really crazy that this movie actually did it, because I was thinking it might, I mean, if it gets, when you pass 980 million and you get in, like, you're right there. I'm assuming they would keep it in theaters till it did it, but I mean, it did it earlier than people thought. I thought it would do it by the end of November, you know, just inch by there, but it did it in, like, maybe, what is it, 7th weekend, 8th weekend, so it still has some time to stay in theaters, and I think it'll play throughout award season, you know, through December and January and stuff, especially if it gets nominations. So I think it'll still make some more money after this, but still, this is probably the biggest milestone it'll hit. There isn't going to be any more really upcoming. It might pass The Dark Knight to be higher on Warner Brothers all-time list, but, like, still, this was probably the biggest achievement it received. I mean, it also, like, it had so many more, but this is probably the major one that really opens everyone's eyes, like, wow. And a lot of studios will probably want to, how'd you do this? Like, they're going to want to copy this formula because, wow. $1 billion R-rated film, guys. Never happened before, and it's pretty crazy to see it actually happen. Like, this was just a big year for box office. This is the 7th $1 billion film. Like, it's never been possible before, but it's possible that we could have $10 billion films this year. Because if Frozen 2 makes $1 billion, which I'm pretty sure it will, if Rise of Skywalker makes $1 billion, which I'm pretty sure it also will, I mean, I'm a little on the fence about it, if I'm honest with you, with all the backlash and hate with the fans and stuff, but I mean, it's around Christmas time. That's the main formula that they've been doing for the previous Star Wars films, except Solo, which we saw what happened, so it probably will, but I'm just more skeptical than I was before. And Jumanji, which came so close, 963 million, I believe, so last time it came out. So we could have 10 films hit $1 billion, and yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I just rambled on a bit there, but yeah, what did you all think? Are you excited that Joker hit $1 billion? Is this like new territory for where R-rated films can go? Or do you not really care about the movie and you just didn't really want to care? If that's the case, why click the video? But thank you all so much for watching, and if you want to hit the subscribe button, that'd be pretty great. Hit the bell as well to get notified when I upload. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's SawyerSable or @SableSawyer. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.